Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Locker Room Talk Uncut. World champion Drew Garrison and Chad Penrod here in the locker room. I'm a world champion because the Lakers won. I'm going to just say that, even though it's fucking stupid. We're going to get into the NBA Finals breakdown, the Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow discussion that's been popping up a lot lately, and I feel like it has to be had at this point. The Browns 4-1 with a big game coming up this Sunday. Dak Prescott's very unfortunate injury that we saw happen on Sunday, and our pick'em is up. And actually, it's Tuesday, and the pick'em's still going because we got Tuesday night football tonight. The Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans are playing after the Tennessee Titans spent the last few weeks spitting all over each other and giving everybody COVID or whatever the fuck happened there. So biggest week yet for the pick'em, $440 up for grabs.
Yeah, and can I just say that I am so happy to be in the locker room because I fucking hate Zoom.
Yeah, the Zoom element's cool because you get video of us, and I guess we could probably figure out.
Nobody wants to see our fat faces.
But I thought we looked good until Scarlett showed up and then made us look bad because obviously she's gorgeous.
Everybody's seen I was wearing fucking last year's ugly-ass Browns jersey, man, but it's been the lucky one, you know? So I started week one. I bought a new Browns jersey. I bought a Chubb. I bought a Color Rush one.
Oh, yeah.
And we got our ass stomped. And then so I was like, it was week two, and I was like, fuck, Baker's got to play a good game. It was against the Bengals, and you were over, and I wore it. And I wore it the second week because we won, or the third week. Then I wore it the fourth week. So then I wore it the fifth week, and we ain't lost in the son of a bitch yet.
You got to keep it on now.
Yeah, you know me. Like I always think like, well, I wore that, so we won in that, so I need to wear that. You know, so maybe that's why the Browns winning is because I'm wearing ugly ass Baker Mayfield jerseys.
Possibly. So $440. It is Tuesday. We're recording a day early. We have got a 10-way tie for first place right now.
10 people, yeah. So this is pretty much going to come down to the points picked last night because we can't see much. We can see a little bit more this week because there's a Tuesday game. You know what I mean? So the points, normally we can't even see points. And we were able to see the points. We're not going to give any of that away. Neither you or I are in it.
Yeah, we're not close. But if we were to win, people would be like, you fucking cheated. So we're not in. I can see the points just because the game has already passed. I typically can't. But so we've got
the Tuesday game threw it all off.
Yeah, it's usually the last game of the week, and a couple of people have asked, hey, is the tiebreaker going to be tonight instead of Monday night? I have confirmed that it is not. It is based on the Monday night football game because I think that schedule change came out after we opened the picks up.
Yeah, and I think they're always going to do Monday. Now, it is going to be weird to see what they do next week because there is 2 Monday games because the Bills and the Chiefs got moved to Monday. Man, that would be a good fucking game to put picks on because that's going to be high scoring as shit, I think.
I think it'll come down to the original scheduled
the original
Monday
night game. Yeah.
That's the idea that I have of it, but as these games get pushed and changed, I get notifications from Run Your Pool as the pool administrator. It tells me what's going on. So I'm kind of learning as you guys go, but I think it'll go off the regularly scheduled Monday night game. But if there's any change on that, we'll send out an email or post it up on our social media platforms about it. But $440, 10-way tie going into tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know who picked who. I would think a lot of people probably picked Buffalo just because Tennessee hasn't played, but maybe there's somebody out there
Buffalo's
playing the
hot
upset.
right now, man. Josh Allen's playing like a MVP. As a matter of fact, to me, he'd be second in the MVP behind Russell Wilson.
So I don't know. We'll see who the winner is. The winner will be paid out Wednesday morning this time instead, just because of how the games fall. And
with that being said, normally today the new Pick'em would open up,
right,
and everybody would send in money and make their picks, but that's going to be tomorrow. So, actually, and you know what? I don't think that there's a Thursday game this week.
It got moved.
It got moved to Monday, so I think people are going to get extra time to.
We can extend it out and build it out because what I did was we were capped at 50 and people would be like, hey, there's too many people in. I went ahead and I spent the extra $40, got 50 more slots so we can get up to 100.
Yeah.
So really, in theory, once we confirm that there's no Thursday night game, which I think you're right because I think it was supposed to be the Bills.
Right, Bills and Chiefs.
But they can't go Tuesday then Thursday.
Right, and they moved them to Monday.
So that may give you we'll set it Sunday at noon.
Yeah,
as the deadline,
sure,
if that's the case. And then more people can get in. Maybe that has a chance for the pot to grow. I mean, now we can get it up to 100 people if we really got it rolling. So that's actually an interesting twist that I didn't even think about for this week. So you'll have a lot longer. You'll be able to see some more injury reports. all that good stuff. But please try to get the money in as soon as possible. That way, as soon as it closes, we can post up the final pot number. And we'll see who can get it this week. Hopefully, we can beat the 440. I mean, we had a big surge. We went up by $80 from the previous week. So we will keep that rolling. And getting into the NBA Finals, the Los Angeles Lakers brought the Larry O'Brien Trophy back home to Los Angeles, getting their 17th.
I just want to say congratulations real quick, man.
I thought it was tainted. Or were you fucking?
Well, no, I was just about to say congratulations on the tainted championship.
Oh,
you know,
God,
I mean
here we go.
This is a big honor, you know, to go through those.
You said like last
vicious
week
teams you guys had to go through.
You said like last week it wasn't tainted.
No, it's not tainted. It's not tainted. It's I mean, the Lakers did what they had to do. It don't matter how easy it is. You know what I mean? Now, do I think it was easy? Damn right. I think it was pretty damn easy to them.
You only play who they put in front of you.
Absolutely. But you take it, right? I mean, it don't matter how easy it is. It wasn't like they picked who they were going to play.
Yeah, and like fucking Skip Bayless is like, oh, well, it doesn't count because they didn't have to play the Clippers. That's not the Lakers' fault. That's the Clippers' fault.
Now, to say they didn't catch a break there in the finals, they absolutely did.
Every team that wins a championship catches a break here and there.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen it in the finals game to where two of the best players go out the first game. You know, I mean, that's
Bam
big.
missed what? One game? He came back.
Yeah, but he wasn't really right.
Dragic came back for game 6.
Did he even play though?
Yeah, he looked like he was moving all right, but he wasn't right. I mean, he's got a torn.
And that's their creator. I said that last week, man. That's their. I mean, to say that's their LeBron is crazy, but that's their find the open guy, create the shots type guy. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but I mean, let's say the Browns play the Bucks in the Super Bowl, and Tom Brady and Mike Evans are hurt. It's not going to sting you. You know, it's going to feel just as good.
I only say it's tainted just to fuck with you, but it's definitely not tainted. But
fucking Skip Bayless.
It could have been better. I mean, who didn't want to see the Lakers and Clippers? You know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Know, who thought of, was it 4th or 5th seed Miami was going to be there? I mean, nobody knew that. I mean,
I had a feeling it wouldn't be the Bucks because
like looking back on it, I almost think Boston would have maybe played them better just with all the scoring. But and this goes to Frank Vogel. They played defense this year, man, and they played defense good.
And you know, I'm over the moon excited that the Lakers are finally champions. And to point it out, they won one in 2000, 2010, and 2020. So every 10 years, I'm due for one.
There you go.
But
now you can go back to sucking again, right?
No, we'd like to stay good for a little bit while longer. But that's one of the frustrating things about this that I've seen, and I have no complaints about how LeBron James played. The Game 5 loss, he was out of his fucking mind. But the whole narrative has been LeBron gets his 4th championship. LeBron gets his 4th championship. Let's slow the fuck down. The Lakers got their 17th championship. Frank Vogel got his 1st, and I don't think he's getting enough credit because you don't just take, okay, you got LeBron and AD and a bunch of mismatched parts that everybody said all year wouldn't work. They said that, you know, they didn't have enough this, they didn't have enough that, and it worked. Frank Vogel deserves a ton of credit. You don't just roll the ball out there and win a championship. He deserves a lot of credit.
But you guys have LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean, that makes it better.
No, listen, let me just say this. I get what you're saying. And you know me, I am one of the biggest LeBron haters just because I'm not a big fan of LeBron the person. That story for another day. But LeBron on the court is possibly the greatest basketball player to ever live.
It's getting to be a lot closer of an argument.
He goes to Miami, wins a championship in his 2nd year. He goes back to Cleveland. He wins a championship in his 2nd year. He goes to the Lakers, and he wins a championship in his 2nd year.
You know what that means, Orlando? You're up.
I do not agree with Colin Cowherd very much at all.
I'll let you finish.
But let me just say one thing that I heard him because I was listening to 980 when he was on there, and he said Michael Jordan did need Scottie Pippen because he never won a championship without Scottie. And he said LeBron James only needed a basketball.
I saw that.
And I feel like, I can't believe I'm saying this, he's right.
Man, and I remember saying this, the Toronto series, when they went to the finals his last year with the Cavs, I said, oh shit, I think LeBron's the greatest basketball player to ever touch a basketball, and I have to come to grips with that because I wasn't a big LeBron fan then. And then obviously he comes to my team, and it's like, well, what do you do? I think you would probably not have as much animosity toward LeBron if he was still a Cav. That's just how it is. He puts on your jersey as part of your team. It's just how it goes.
I get what you have to do because
weird.
you are a Lakers guy first. If LeBron leaves tomorrow, you're not going to follow LeBron.
Yeah, I'm still a Laker.
So actually, congratulations to you on a championship because you are a true
I earned that one.
Lakers fan. But how within 10 years, you have people that are like, oh, we won a championship. And when they actually say we, and they said we when he was in Miami. And then they said we when he was in Cleveland.
That's
and
true.
Now they're saying we when he was, now that he's in Los Angeles. It's like, those are the people that I don't understand it. How can you just follow the same guy? Like, that's not your fucking cousin or your dad or your brother. Like, and if it is, I get it then. But some of these people are just like, you see it. They just are sucking him off. Like, he can't do nothing wrong. Now, he played great. He's once again an NBA Finals MVP, and he deserved it. Absolutely deserved it.
AD had a case, but he disappeared a couple times.
He didn't.
But so yeah, LeBron.
Yeah, I get what you're
deserve it.
saying, but LeBron was by far the MVP.
Yeah,
and he was probably the MVP of the regular season.
Yeah, for sure.
It just, it's just hard for me to really like LeBron the person, but just sitting here and just being 100% honest, LeBron the basketball player is damn good, man.
Well, yeah, and I mean, even when he was in Cleveland, I don't think you were a huge fan of some of the stuff he was doing off the court. But
yeah,
and it's definitely gotten magnified. Don't get me wrong; it's a completely different time now than it was then. But I understand. You can use your platform for whatever, but he goes a little bit too far because I think it gets to more of a look at me type thing.
Right.
But and it can't be. It's weird because I understand because Kobe passed. You're like, hell yeah, I want the Lakers to win. I get it. And then LeBron kind of goes up a notch with his off the court. Everybody pay attention to me. Look at me. Look at me. And I get it. But it's just it feels like it got lost from January to now because of the shutdown and the bubble and all that. It's like it feels like the Kobe vibe has gotten lost outside of those true Laker fans because it still means a ton to me personally, and I know to all tried and true Laker fans it still means a lot to hold a trophy up for Kobe the year he passed.
Did LeBron say anything about Kobe, or was it
he did?
He did, because I only heard Anthony Davis say something.
He did, but even the like Rachel Nichols asking the questions afterwards, I was kind of like, damn, like they went to the social injustice and all that stuff a lot heavier, and a lot of that's probably by the NBA's guidance, I would think, but there really wasn't a lot made
Kobe
of that.
Questions towards LeBron.
No, there really wasn't, and I he could have taken an opportunity to say it. Obviously, he can say whatever the fuck he wants, but it was weird, and I feel like from the people that aren't the true Laker fans, there's the people that follow LeBron or maybe the people that are just I don't know, follow the Lakers because they're good again, or maybe people like AD. I don't know, but I feel like that was kind of lost, and that. I'm not even gonna lie, it was kind of like an emotional moment for me when they won that thing. I was like, damn, man, like they finished the job for Kobe, and I just feel like nationally it's gotten a little bit of love, but like I thought it would be a bigger deal.
I haven't seen much love at all, man.
I mean, I work from home, so I get to watch ESPN.
I mean, I've seen and I listen to the ESPN radio, but I listened to the question to AD, and that was it.
And I know you weren't a huge fan of the Mamba jersey thing, and I think that it did get blown up pretty big because everybody thought that they were going to close that out.
It was blown out of. I mean,
everybody thought they were
going to win all this because we're wearing a jersey, and then Game 5 you wear the jerseys and fucking lose. So now the narrative just is like
it mattered to the team more than anything. I think it was a mentality thing, especially when
then you shouldn't have lost in it.
Well, it took two all-time Jimmy Butler games for them to lose. I mean,
Jimmy Butler's good. He gained a lot of respect for me.
I mean, he did. Don't get me wrong. He's a lifetime 20-a-game guy. And, for the Heat were just outmatched. Be that, Bam being banged up or missing a game. Dragic obviously was a big loss. They were outmanned. It took 2 monster Jimmy Butler games that you're not going to see all the time for them to win. And I have nothing but the utmost respect for not only Jimmy Butler, but Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley, who was a true Laker.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero had a pretty rough series. I think we expected a little bit more coming out for him. Duncan Robinson was pretty solid in a couple of those games. He was hitting crazy shots. He looks like a dude we used to work with. I'll tell you the name off the air.
They're going to be good.
Yeah, they'll be right back in it next year.
Yeah, it's going to be. I was hearing something from some of the national media that said, there might not be a whole lot of movement because the salary cap could be lowered because of COVID. For next season.
Yeah, because of the revenue loss.
So they don't know where it's going to exactly be at. But, they were showing, what's next for the Lakers. Is Bradley Beal coming to join the team? Is Chris Paul, who I think's the best fit?
You've said that several times.
Yeah. Is it going to be Zach LaVine?
I saw that one.
And who was the other one?
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell. That would be another good one.
Now, are those guys all free agents?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I saw the graphic too. I was watching ESPN earlier today, and they said that they think the most likely scenario right now, and it could obviously change because everything changes at the drop of a hat with this COVID shit, that the salary cap's going to stay at 109 this year, 109.
Yeah,
next
and
year.
I heard that they can't really afford Chris Paul right now. No.
As it stands, no. But look for them because, and my buddy Tyler. Roland, he runs Tic Tac Titans on Twitter. It's a Locked On Titans podcast. He's a host. He's a big Laker fan. We've talked a lot. He told me, he actually sent me a thread today that this AD trade that the Pelicans won, right? They got all these first round picks. The Lakers have a first round pick this year. They have a first round pick next year as long as they don't finish in the bottom 8 of the league, which I would assume they won't. So look for the Lakers to package Kuzma, the first round pick, and Danny Green to get that money off the books for something. I don't know what, but something.
Well, you ain't really losing nothing there. I'm not as high on Kuzma as I was the first year.
He just doesn't fit now.
Yeah, obviously Danny Green couldn't buy a bucket.
And
you don't need picks when you have LeBron. So
people threatened Danny Green's life and his fiance's life over him missing that last second shot in Game 5. Let's relax.
When they're up 3-1.
Yeah, let's fucking calm down a little bit. I don't know if Danny Green, I mean, it was an all-year thing because people were like, well, maybe he doesn't play well in the bubble, but he really didn't do much all year. He didn't hit the shots you want Danny Green to hit.
Which is weird because the year before that he balled out in Toronto.
And that's not going to be an easy contract to shed, I don't think.
Not many people's going to want that.
So it'll be interesting how they do that. I think maybe, you throw the first in there and Kuzma. Kuzma may be a guy where he gets that change of scenery and he get like Ingram did in New Orleans.
That's exactly what Kuzma needs.
And I really liked that they kept Kuzma initially in that trade because of what I saw, but the team just transforms. I mean, you got LeBron and AD now. There's not really much more.
Kuzma don't fit. Go get another star.
He's kind of a gunner, at the wing.
Like I've said though, and we just said this, but Chris Paul just makes too much sense. Imagine LeBron having a big and Chris Paul.
Yeah, that's scary. That would be absolutely phenomenal. And shout out to J.R. Smith for being shirtless before the game actually went
That's
final.
A Cleveland thing. You shouldn't have done that, J.R.
Everybody was shirtless. Kuzma was shirtless. Caruso was shirtless. Everybody was fucking chilling.
That's a Cavs thing. That's why. Moving on here, man. Week 5 of the NFL. I know we got a game left today, but the biggest news coming out of Dallas.
God.
Dak Prescott, and if you've seen this live, which I'm sure most of you guys did, broke his ankle, man. It was just snapped and dangling there, and I seen it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm good to watch it once, and then I'm like, "Yeah, I can't look at that."
Dude, I watched it like 50 times.
As much as we give Dak shit, because me and you are not huge believers in Dak, he was balling out.
He was putting up record numbers.
He was having a season. Now, he was doing it, in my opinion, in trash time, what I like to call when you're getting blown out, but he was able to do it to where he made the game interesting.
Look what they did against the Browns. Shit.
Yeah.
And that comeback win against the Falcons.
And he goes down. His season's over. He's playing under the franchise tag. What will Dallas do? Are they going to franchise tag him again? They're definitely. I don't think they're going to pay him. I think the franchise tag is the likely thing. But beneath all the Dak stuff, and we want to talk about Dak, Andy Dalton is the new quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys for the rest of the season.
And on the Dak front, I saw Stephen Jones come on the radio today, and he actually said that Dak is still the face of this franchise. So I don't know what that means, but if Dak does get another deal, it's going to be incentive-based, I would assume.
I would think another franchise tag's coming.
But yeah, and Andy Dalton didn't look too bad on that last drive, did he?
No. Well, Andy can make some throws, and I hate to sound like this, but this, as well as Dak was playing, this might be a blessing in disguise, and hear me out why. The Dallas Cowboys need to be a run-first football team. You have Zeke Elliott, and you have a pretty damn good offensive line. You have got to run Zeke Elliott to death. Now, he does have to stop fumbling, but you also have playmakers everywhere. You have Michael Gallup. You have Amari Cooper. You have CeeDee Lamb. I mean, you have playmakers everywhere for Andy Dalton. He's had some playmakers before in Cincy, but I don't know if he's ever had playmakers quite like this.
Well, and that's the thing. We had said this about Dalton, I think, when he first signed there, or even before the Bengals actually cut him. I don't know. We've talked about him a lot. He can do pretty damn well when he's protected and he has a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know their left tackle and their right tackle are out, but that line still held up pretty good down the stretch. I mean, you don't want to be in that close of a game with the New York Giants, but they were. I don't think that Dallas is that good, just in general.
Their defense definitely isn't. I think the offense is one of the best in the league. I still think the offense might be one of the best. I think it's still top 10 with Dalton.
Maybe. I just feel like they get a lot of that, like you said, in garbage time.
Well, yeah, but I mean, numbers and stats are stats, but I don't know. I think this kind of gets them back in rhythm. But finish what you were saying.
And it could. But I just think that, and you said it this morning. It was like the first text I saw when I woke up. I think I actually even forgot to reply to it. December 13th, Andy Dalton versus Joe Burrow.
Where's that at?
That's in Cincinnati.
And there's going to be fans.
Homecoming game.
And there's going to be fans.
Well, yeah, at least 12,000, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure
at least 12,000.
It'll probably be over by then because the election will be over.
Right, probably. We'll save that. But, yeah, that's going to be interesting, and we're going to talk about your boy here in a minute. But I think Andy Dalton, I mean, I don't think it's a huge drop from Dak to Andy. When we came into the season, we said we thought Andy might be better.
Yeah, I said I would have saved the money. Well, I think that I said that I would give Dak the slight edge because he was more mobile. But for the money difference that we were talking about, hell yeah, I would roll with Dalton.
And I agreed. But so we're going to see. I mean, he's getting a full week to prepare. They lead the NFC least. Not a whole lot going on there. I think. Do they have a bye this week?
Leading the NFC East is like being the coolest horse at a glue factory. I don't know if they have a bye or not. That would be good for Dalton if they did, though, just to get another week of reps with the ones. He's playing back home too.
No, I'm sorry, they don't. They play Monday night.
Oh yeah,
against
they play
the Cardinals.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting
Is Dalton
game.
still shit on primetime? That's what we need to
we'll
figure
see.
out.
We'll see here real quick.
But I will root for Andy Dalton. I said that before. I like Andy Dalton. I want him to do well. But it's just, it was just time for him to go. So let's get into what happened in Baltimore on Sunday. I'll be honest. I watched on my phone. I had a Pee Wee game I had to be at, coaching defense out there. So I watched on my phone right up until they got down 17-0. I was like, all right, I'm going to probably just focus on these kids real quick. Because I said, you get a lead on Baltimore, you can hang with them. You let Baltimore get a lead like that, you're fucked. And with the Bengals run defense, you're fucked. And now DJ Reader, the high-priced nose tackle, out for the season. So that's good. AJ Green mentally out for the season, I guess, because he was like a lead blocker on that interception return.
Man, that was crazy.
And there's a video going around. It looks like that he may have said to a coach on the sideline, "Just trade me."
Yeah.
That's what it looked like he said to me. And on that front, I've been a pretty hard proponent for keeping AJ Green on the team.
Not me, because I'm ready to talk about how right I was.
And you were right, because he clearly doesn't fit into the long-term plans. It's clear he wanted to come back in the game. I
was screaming. Yeah, I think that's why he said just trade me if you ain't going to play.
He was hurt or he was dinged up, but he wanted to get back in the game, and that's why they didn't do it.
I was screaming when I say I'm right. Here's what I say I'm right about. And I told Drew all last year when the Bengals were shit. I mean, we knew they were going to probably be one of the teams for the first round pick. I said, Drew, they've got to trade AJ Green right now.
The fan in me didn't want to hear it
because we knew.
I love AJ Green.
We knew that the Packers were off in the first. We'd heard that, and then word was New Orleans was also offering a first for AJ Green. And when you're a team like that that's losing that bad, sometimes you don't need a receiver like that. You need to trade him away. I also said you got to trade Geno. People were like, "What? Why? Geno can still play." Geno just played his first game, and I don't even know if he even got a tackle.
He played a pretty good game. I saw from.
Did he?
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw some breakdowns. I don't think he had stat numbers. I think he had those clowny numbers where he's like causing shit to shake up in the backfield.
But I said trade Geno. Well, then you got DJ Reader, obviously, who you can build with him. He's younger.
Who looked so damn good.
He did look good, and I still think that it was a great signing. But I said trade Geno. I said you're probably going to get a third for him. I said, but that's money off the books that you're building right now. And then the last person I said Dunlap, who
he found out on like Thursday that he wasn't starting.
Yeah,
he was pissed.
Carl Lawson
and Sam Hubbard,
and you're looking at another third or fourth. So you're talking a first at least for AJ. Somewhere between a third and fifth for Geno, and probably somewhere between a third and a sixth for Dunlap. And I said that is what a team needs to do right now. Like look what Miami did.
Let's not forget, there also could have been a second rounder thrown in there for Andy Dalton if they would have handled that better.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think Chicago would have gave him a 2.
That's just bad. That's so bad, man. Like sometimes the loyalty shit's got to stop. You're too loyal to these guys, and now. What are you going to do? I mean, you can't franchise tag AJ Green again. He's shit. He's a shell of himself. He's blocking for the other team when they pick it off.
Zach Taylor said that he didn't think he could make that play. From the angle I saw, it looked like
he could have tried harder at least.
Yeah, and Zach Taylor also said afterwards. Now I don't know how much of this is just trying to block out the noise. He said that all the conversations with AJ have been positive. That's not what he said.
Doesn't matter.
Blah, blah. But going forward, because I have already reached. I mean, we're 5 weeks into the season. I have reached nihilism when it comes to the Bengals. I don't fucking care. Nothing matters. Who the fuck cares? We're fucked. Our coach sucks. Our fucking organization spent money, and both of the guys that they spent the most money on are fucking hurt, so they're never going to do that again.
But let me
they're
stop
never going
you
to
there.
spend money again.
Yeah, but DJ Reader was good. That was a hell of a signing.
Yeah, it was a damn good
and he was
signing.
balling this year. So I think that they'll see that. Trey Waynes, I don't know. We'll see if he even makes it back. I mean, at this point, do you even, if you're not going to do anything, why take the chance of hurting him again?
Why sign him? You could have kept Drake Kirkpatrick, who's playing good for the fucking Cardinals right now.
Yeah, and you didn't watch too much of the game. But let me say this. Let me shout out the Bengals defense.
I recorded it, and I saw the result, and I was just like, dude, you know what? Fuck it. I didn't even watch it.
One of the scores from Baltimore was a fumble that Mike Thomas. Not
fucking
the good
Humphreys,
Mike Thomas.
dude. Humphreys with that punch, man, that motherfucker.
And but they played right, man. They didn't let Lamar do anything. Lamar couldn't throw to save his life.
Logan Wilson's good.
Logan Wilson had a pick. He should have had 2 picks, maybe 3 picks.
Logan Wilson's good.
They played Lamar right. This was a game where the offense needed to step up, and they couldn't score a point. And then with 2 minutes left, your boy Zach Taylor kicks a fucking field goal so he doesn't get blanked.
Yeah, dude, you got to. He's got to cover the spread.
No, the spread was already covered. You're down 30 points. The spread was already covered.
He kicked that field goal at the last minute?
I think it was like
2 minutes left?
2 minutes left, something like that. He kicked the fucking field goal, didn't go for it. But let's get to the story of this game. I was in here last week, and I said, I cannot wait to see how Joe Burrow performs. I cannot wait. I said this is the best defense he's played yet. He's been looking good. How's he going to perform? And he the game he had a 5.6 QBR.
Is that good?
It's terrible.
Oh, okay.
I mean, when with the game we went with Johnny Manziel, I think he had like a 2 point whatever QBR.
Oh yeah, or the one that where Dalton played the Browns on Thursday night and he had like a 2 point.
Yeah. I mean, so it's terrible. he don't have protection. Let's not lie. There's no line. There's no line there. Jonah Williams don't even look good. I mean, just being honest.
Yeah, they fucked that up too. The Bengals are just going to fuck up forever. I don't think I care about the Bengals anymore. I just don't think I give a fuck.
Like I said, the line is garbage. But there are plays where Joe Burrow holds on the ball too long.
Yeah, he gets himself hit. It's not all on the line.
There could be some throwaways, other than taking the hit. You know what I mean? There could be some getting rid of the ball quicker to avoid a hit, to avoid a turnover, or whatever.
Yeah, it's mainly the line's fault, but there is a good amount that is on Burrow, and I don't know if he's still adjusting to the speed or thinks he can do more than he can or what, but I don't know, dude. We're fucked. We're just fucked forever. The fucking Falcons are firing their coach. The Texans are firing their coach. Motherfuckers are getting canned. Your turn, Bengals. Fire this motherfucker, dude. He sucks.
Yeah, he's not
He's
good.
fucking terrible. We're 21 games into the experiment now. I've seen all I need to see.
Yeah.
It's done.
I mean, and
fuck Jim Turner, too. He's the offensive line coach, and he's, like, blaming shit on Burrow. And some of it is true, but you don't blame your franchise quarterback in the media. That guy's a fucking
he has to
clown,
protect. He has to protect the offensive line. Those are his boys.
Yeah, but he was fucking saying all kinds of fucked up shit to women at a seminar or something. That's why he didn't get a job forever. He's a fucking idiot. Frank Pollock should have stayed.
It all starts and ends with Zach Taylor. He's the coach.
Yeah, he's the
one that
loser.
okayed this line. He's the one that okayed drafting Burrow. Whether he had to say or whatever. We assume he had to say.
Well, everybody's going to okay drafting Joe Burrow.
Well, no, I'm just not drafting Joe Burrow, but putting this line in front of Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. This... I'm with you. I've seen enough of Zach Taylor. He can go. Now, the Browns used to get so much shit, man. They used to, especially from Bengals fans, because this is where we live. This is who we hear it from the most. God, they don't give a coach a chance. They don't give a quarterback a chance. They don't do this. They don't do that. Now you see, you don't give a quarterback a coach a opportunity if you don't think he's the right guy, and clearly Zach Taylor is not the right guy.
No, I think this season's already fucked, so they'll probably ride it out with him. And I guess who on that roster is going to coach better? Lou Anarumo? Brian Callahan?
Yeah.
Jim Turner? Okay, whatever. This year's fucked. Ride it out with him. I say lose for draft position, but he can't make it in next year. There's no fucking way. Guys like Gase that are on the block, or Dan Quinn, he blew a 3-touchdown lead in the Super Bowl 3 years ago. Bill O'Brien's been fucking shit up for years. So I guess I could see why they would fire them mid-season. You could fire Taylor right now. I wouldn't give a shit, but I understand maybe why they're not doing it, because who's going to upgrade it. But there's no fucking way he should make it past the last press conference of the last game of the year. The sweet, oh my God, merciful end of the year. That was a burp. That was gross, if you guys heard that. I got to stop drinking Dr. Pepper down here. If he makes it past the last press conference of the game, it's a fucking complete failure. I never, ever, ever, ever in my life thought I would sit here and be like, do I miss Marvin Lewis?
Marvin Lewis sounds pretty good right about now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I don't see.
I just think I don't give a fuck. I'm probably not going to prioritize my Sundays around watching them like I usually do. It's just like, what?
You got it. You want to see the progression. You want to see Burrow get better.
I might watch him die.
Yeah, well,
he
one
may
or the
pass
other.
away
one
on
or,
CBS.
Yeah, one or the other. So you're either going to watch him die, get hurt, or tough it out through the season and hope he can get better. So
hope he can get Josh McDaniels.
Speaking of Burrow, let's transition this real quick. So we're going to transition this, man. We have a guest on the line. Austin, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, guys?
Not much, man.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, so we're on here and we're talking about we were talking about Burrow and his game versus Baltimore. Now we're going to bring up Burrow versus Justin Herbert.
Uh-oh.
Justin Herbert last night, 4 touchdown passes against the New Orleans Saints, and man, did he look good doing it.
Man, his arm is it's got special written all over it.
He's 0-4.
Drew says he's 0-4.
I mean, there is something to be said about being 0-4.
But I will say he's playing Brady and Breeze and
He
shit.
played Brady, Breeze, Mahomes.
Burrow's got to win over Minshew.
Hey, but here's the question, man. Right now, 5 games in, and this is way too early. These guys still have to play their entire careers. Who do you want right now? Do you want Herbert or do you want Joe Burrow? Now, take into consideration Joe Burrow doesn't have a line. With that being said, I don't think Herbert has one either. It's just not as bad as Burrow's.
Right. So
They're
I
missing
guess
a lot.
Yeah.
when you're looking at the teams, I do think that Herbert has a little bit more to rely on with his defense. Obviously, Cincinnati's defense is there's a lot to be desired there. So if he's not scoring enough points, most likely that defense is going to give up points. So he's kind of in a tough situation. That being said, what was it, a 5.8 QBR this weekend against Baltimore?
Yeah, Chad told me that's not good.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think that that's what you want to see out of your rookie quarterback, regardless of the line. So for me personally, just from the flashes that I've seen, I like Burrow. I like what he can do in the pocket and outside the pocket. But from what I've seen so far, I like Herbert's game a little bit more.
Yeah, and this isn't me shitting on Joe Burrow at all. I still think Joe Burrow is the guy for Cincinnati. It's just 5 games in. This Justin Herbert doesn't even look like the guy that was playing at Oregon. This dude looks incredible.
He looks a lot more polished.
I don't know who was saying it last night, but they were saying, wow, what was Oregon doing with Herbert?
Yeah. I mean, and this is where I'm going to go. I'll transition this to Joe Burrow too, but Justin Herbert has a beautiful deep ball. It is beautiful.
I mean, it's perfect.
It's money.
He stood there in the pocket. I mean, I've seen him take a shot and still drop the ball right in the bucket.
And that's where I don't understand with Joe Burrow. You know, coming out of LSU, to me, his biggest thing was he put the ball where it needed to be on a deep ball. I was telling Drew last week, we were watching the Alabama game versus LSU, and when he did a back shoulder throw to one of the LSU receivers, I think Justin Jefferson, I mean, it was like a ball. It's like, man, that you can't teach that.
My nipples got hard.
And I don't see that this year. It's like, if you can throw it deep, then you probably have time to get it there. And you're just seeing him miss wide open receivers, and he's throwing the ball out of bounds on some. Some he is getting hit. He's getting hit. It just doesn't. It doesn't look there.
Here's the thing: like, you can be as talented as you want. Look at guys like Tim Couch. Look at guys like David Carr. You come in, you take shot after shot after shot, regardless if they're sacks or not. He's still getting beat up on. I mean, you start to, as Sam Darnold said last year, see ghosts a little bit.
Yeah, you throw the ball earlier and you miss him because you're
right,
a little too antsy.
You're anticipating something that may not be coming, and you see it even in Baker Mayfield. He does the same thing sometimes.
He's working that out still.
Right, exactly. And Burrow may, obviously it's 5 games in. He has plenty of time to fix it. The biggest thing is can Cincinnati put the pieces around him to protect him quick enough so that this isn't like permanent damage?
Well, before we brought you on, I already pointed out I've reached nihilism with the Bengals this year. I don't really give a fuck anymore. Nothing matters. We're fucked.
Can anyone blame you for that?
I mean, Zach Taylor tried to sell this whole fan base on that offensive line.
Zach Taylor looks like he should be selling fucking insurance.
I mean, Zach Taylor, and I think that midway through last year, Chad, you and I were both pretty adamant that we didn't think Zach Taylor was going to be the guy long term.
Yeah, definitely.
So the other question for Cincinnati fans, are you going to see something where Mike Brown tries to force it for 5 years before he finally
or 16?
Okay. Right.
Well,
exactly.
that's the point I was getting ready to make. You say, is he the guy long term? No, but he may still be there long term.
Right.
How much has the front office grown? How much has Mike Brown maybe given control away to some people that aren't 87 years old? But that's going to be telling for the Bengals' new day that they've been selling, how they handle this after this year, because there's no reason anybody else in the NFL would keep that guy as the head coach.
Well, and that's the thing is, like you said, they sold you guys on this new day. We're different. We're spending. We're making moves. Yet they did nothing to fix the defense, they took some mid picks, I guess, to try to help with the run defense.
Well, the DJ Reader signing paid off. He's out for the year now, but that Reader signing was a good signing.
He was good. DJ Reader was.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree, but they're still I think 28th or 29th against the run this year.
Yeah. And you're playing that nickel defense, the linebackers, and I just said the defensive line's just old. I mean, you got Reader and Carl Lawson coming along, but how much longer is it going to be for him?
Give some love to your Buckeye boy, Sam Hubbard. He's good. He's out for a while now, but he's good.
Yeah, I don't know. They have to make a move immediately this offseason to protect Joe Burrow.
Josh McDaniels and 7 straight offensive lineman picks. You start with right tackle, round 2 right guard, round 3 center. Just go all the way down the line. Draft 7 offensive linemen.
So one more thing on Zach Taylor. It took, 4 games before they finally realized that Joe Mixon could take some pressure off of Burrow a little bit. I mean,
no shit.
Through 60 times, through 45 times. I mean,
my thing is this: like, if Burrow's getting beat this bad, and we all know he is, where's the double tight end sets? Where's the extra help on the ends blocking?
We only have one tight end.
Anything and everything.
I mean, there is tight ends out there. This is why I say the Bengals need to go get a really good tight end. I think it would help Burrow tremendously next year. But as far as the tight ends being on the field, you're spreading out those ends. You have extra blockers, and you can still get a receiver on the field or whatever it may be. It's just when you keep putting this man in 4 and 5 wide, you're just asking for him to just like die on the field with that offensive line.
Well, and that's where they need to be at right now. We know what we got with the line. It's not changing. I mean, you can go make a trade, get a guy. I doubt they do it, but so from now on, run the ball 35 times a game. I don't give a shit how the game's going. Don't get you know what this season is. You know what the line is. So let's not do further damage to Burrow by dropping him back in 4 and 5 wide sets 40 times a game. Just run the fucking ball and let's just get good at running the football first, and then anything else that may come from that, let it be. But they've got to be a run-first team, if nothing else, just to get this kid through the season.
Yeah. I don't care if you're averaging 3 yards a carry.
Force that shit.
Give him some play action, move the pocket a little bit, just anything to get him some time to not get hit over and over and over.
Hey, last thing on the Bengals before we transfer this over to a good team.
Oh fuck, here we go.
How about that left tackle out of Oregon? Is that where he's from?
Penny Sewell.
And then moving Jonah Williams back to right tackle where he needs to be. I don't think Jonah Williams is going to be a good left tackle. I think he needs to go to the right side, and he might be able to have a Pro Bowl career over there.
Yeah, because there's a huge difference in working on the strong side versus that blind side. So,
right. And he was good against the run, too.
He was working on the blind side for Tua, but it is different.
You know what would have been really good, though?
That's a good point, Drew.
If they could have just had Andrew Whitworth there, and he could have played right tackle this whole time.
Oh, you mean that guy that's still one of the top-graded offensive linemen?
That's the guy.
Oh, yeah, the guy that wanted to stay?
That's like he actually wanted to retire a Bengal.
Yeah, the guy that wanted to fucking stay there? That guy?
That guy.
Huh.
It furthers the point that when are they going to prove that they're willing to actually invest in the team and make moves to protect these young guys in the future?
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about a good football team. Austin.
The Colts?
The Colts just got beat, buddy.
4-1, baby.
4-1. The Browns have won 4 straight with a big win last Sunday over the Indianapolis Colts. Man, I'm pumped up.
The
number one defense
without Darius Leonard.
Well,
that's all right. We didn't have Chubb, and we still ran for 125. So
who's that guy?
The optimism was non-existent after week 1. After week 1, we go to Baltimore and just get walloped.
Chad called him Kevin Kitchens.
Exactly. We thought it was Freddie Kitchens 2.0. We did. The outlook was bleak. To turn around and score 30 points in every game since then and reel off 4 in a row. I honestly can't believe what I'm seeing. I
was 3 years old the last time they were 4-1.
This is how you win with, in my opinion now, and I'm just going to come out and say it, with an average quarterback.
Oh!
Yeah.
You run the shit out of the ball, you get him out of the pocket, and hopefully you get a lot like he played in the first half. The first half Baker was a lot better than second half Baker when the Colts switched up there a little bit, but then when they switched it up, we were able to run the ball.
Exactly. So they made the adjustments to where they slowed Baker down. They confused him a little bit. The first interception he threw was god-awful.
That was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. Second one, he got hit.
I didn't blame him for that. He got hit. Yeah. It came off wrong, yeah.
Right. In fact, I like to see him sit in the pocket, step up and deliver some throws, even if it does require him taking a shot every now and again, because him stepping up in the pocket has been, in my opinion, his biggest weakness so far. And I don't know if it's height or what the deal is.
Yeah, I felt like he kind of like in college in that first year he was on his Drew Brees. He was able to get more depth and see over the line. Like you said, I don't know if it's a height thing. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but the fact is he has his football team right now 4-1, and
4-1.
Without Baker's first half performance, we do not beat the Colts. Baker played a big part in beating the Colts.
Well, that's what I told you guys when we were texting during the game. I said, I thought this was going to be a run game, but that first half, I felt like it was Baker's game.
Yeah,
they loaded the box, and he made him pay.
They loaded the box, and Baker took his one-on-one shots, and he won with them.
Yep.
What the fuck happened to Jarvis Landry's hands?
Well, what's crazy is in the first half, he made some amazing catches.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Dudes, and then in the second half, I don't know if he was anticipating hits or if he was just trying to get moving before the ball was there or what. But to see those two drops, those were bad.
You don't see that a lot from Jarvis. You see that from Odell, but you don't see that from Jarvis.
Yeah, so I expect Jarvis to kind of come out with some fire this week and be kind of what we expect him to be.
Like I said, the fact of the matter is the Browns are 4-1. They're a half game out of first, and the team that is in first, the Browns play them this week. Going to Heinz Field with Tony Romo and Jim Nantz calling the game. The Pittsburgh Steelers host the Cleveland Browns, and man, I cannot wait.
This is the most excited I've been for a game in a long time.
Yeah,
A long time. So coming into week 5, we went up against the then-ranked number 1 defense. Now going into week 6, guess what?
Right, in the number 1 defense because we just shredded up the number 1 defense and made them fall back.
Right. So scored 32 on the number 1 defense. Baker's gonna have to do similar to what he just did. I'm not sure how successful we're going to be running the football. I think that Baker's really going to have to step up and deliver.
Yeah.
How is Wyatt Teller? You guys love Wyatt Teller. He
Calf
was
strain. He's week to week. It looks like he might miss this game and then
TJ
be
Watt's
back,
over there.
And then Teller is a right guard. So our right tackle is Jack Conklin.
They mix Watt inside.
Stepping in for Teller is Chris Hubbard, who stepped in for
Steeler.
Conklin. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. He can play just about any position on the line.
Yeah.
Which is super nice to have in a backup. But I think sliding into the right guard spot last week initially was a little bit rough for him. That being said, he was facing one of the best interior defensive linemen in football. So I'll cut him a little bit of slack. But as the game progressed, he did seem to settle in. The second half was much better. And then the game or the drive that iced it, he was fantastic. He had a couple of huge blocks.
Him and Higgins, who's been
our man
not
Hollywood.
active. Me and you love Hollywood. A big block. Him and Higgins and Hubbard to spring Dearness Johnson for 28 yards to seal the game for the Browns.
Yeah, and a lot of people say as a young wide receiver, if you want playing time,
got to
you
block
earn it by blocking.
Yep.
So Baker and Higgy have always had a natural chemistry. Going back to Baker's rookie year, it just clicked right away. So I'm really hoping that Stefanski will ride that and we'll see some more of him moving forward because I feel like last year he was very underutilized.
Is Coach Stefanski the coach of the year right now, 5 games in?
At this point, I'm not sure I want to say he's surefire. He goes into Pittsburgh and beats Pittsburgh, then yes, I say he's
I would think it's
sure
him or
favorite.
LaFleur, right?
Yeah, having LaFleur coming back and what are they, 4-0 so far?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is playing absolutely lights out without any help from a first-round draft pick. They look awesome.
Stefanski can beat you in several different ways, man. He can either light you. He's not very what's the word, predictive. Like you don't know what he's going to throw at you, and then he comes out in an interview and he's asked about how good his play calling's been, and he says we've had these planned out for weeks. We know what we're going to call when we get there, and him and Van Pelt have just been great.
And the MVP of the coaching staff, in my
Bill
opinion,
Callahan. Yes, sir.
Because they're marrying those schemes together in a way that a lot of people have said they haven't seen before. It's a zone blocking scheme that we like, that Shanny runs, and I forget what they called the other screen, the other blocking system, but it's worked to perfection so far.
So before we let you get off here, man, Final score for Sunday. You're going to be at my house. We're going to make all kinds of food, get the families together, and watch our Browns for the first time this year. I told Drew, man, when we played Baltimore, I wore my new Chubb jersey. Me and you both got the same one.
Yep.
And we lost. Well, the last 4 games I've had on last year's Baker Mayfield jersey, dude, and I feel ugly as fuck in it, but we're winning.
I mean, you can't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
So the final score.
It's tough. I do think that, Mike Tomlin, you were going against a top 5 coach. It's a first-year head coach versus a top 5 coach. He's proved that, especially after last year being in the playoff hunt with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph as your quarterback. So
I think he's a great coach too.
I do think that's going to play into it a little bit. We may be out coached. So my anticipation being trying not to get too overhyped, I expect the Steelers about 27, Browns 17. I think that we maybe come back down to earth a little bit. I think Baker is going to struggle. This is going to be one of those games where I think afterwards people are really starting to question Baker a little bit. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see.
I'm going to go Browns 31, Steelers 30. I think it's going to be a close game. I know they have a good defense, but we got a really good offense.
So the thing is, that gives me optimism is that the Steelers really haven't played anybody.
That's true.
They just about blew it was like a 17-point lead, I think, in the second half to the team that tied Cincinnati.
Right.
So
hey, leave us out of it, man. Shit.
So the team that only hung 23 on one of the worst defenses in the league was able to score 30 on Pittsburgh. So I don't know. I'm definitely not sold one way or another, and I won't be shocked if we go in and play well and beat them. It's just Pittsburgh always seems to have our number.
If we win, we beat Pittsburgh. They better fucking call in the National Guard for Cleveland because that motherfucker might burn down and it won't be looting.
Yeah.
They're going to social distance. They're going to be responsible.
It's going to get crazy if we're sitting at 5-1 with 2 games to play to the bye.
Yeah, and then going into Cincinnati the week after. Last thing here, I said that this isn't a must-win for the Browns. The Browns have the easiest schedule in the league remaining. If they lose, they go to 4-2 with Cincinnati coming up there. The big game is probably going to be Oakland because that's going to be a playoff team as well. We done beat the Colts, who's going to be a playoff team. So we got that tiebreaker. But, I can't wait, man. I'm with you. I think this is the most amped up I've been for a game in a long time. And the Browns are back, baby, with Coach Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry. And, they finally got the wheels turning there in Cleveland.
All thanks to Andrew Sadehu.
Like finally, after all these years, got it right.
Say that again, Drew.
This is all thanks to, is it Andrew Sadehu? Sadeho? Chad loves that guy.
Yeah, me and Austin really love him.
Shout out O'Neal Cousins.
So right before you called, actually, somebody tweeted out a stat for him. 80%, 12 out of 15 passes have been completed when thrown at him. And I think it's 3 touchdowns coming his way on 15 pass attempts.
Get him off the field. And he always plays, it seems like he plays worse at the beginning of the game. He kind of settles in, it feels like.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
But at the beginning of every game, he's fucking hot garbage. Hey, you won the pick'em a few weeks back. What'd you win? $350?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was like $340, I think.
Hell yeah, man! It's $440. There's a couple people in it still. I think your dad's left in it.
Dolph,
yeah, he's got a good shot at it.
And our buddy Aaron Lakes is in it, so it's going to be an interesting game tonight. Who you think wins tonight?
The thing is Tennessee. They've had 14 days to prepare for this game.
They haven't practiced though. In the facility, have they?
The caveat
yeah.
The facility most of the time has been shut down.
Yeah.
So they may come in real rusty, and Buffalo may put it on them.
I think Josh Allen's going to tear it up, man. That dude. I was a doubter, man, but just how big he is and how powerful his arm is, he's legit. I have him right now second MVP, only behind Russell Wilson.
My top 3 for MVP, I'd have Russell Wilson,
A-Rod.
Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
and Josh Allen. Those are the three for me right now.
Yeah.
And shout out to Troy, man. He said before the year started, Josh Allen was going to be firmly in this MVP race, and here he is.
It's all right. We got the Coach of the Year watch.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it in the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes, sir. Myles Garrett playing incredible right now.
Yeah, well, we've got Bobby Hart, bitch.
I can't wait to see him next week.
All right, Austin. Hey, man, thanks for coming in, and go Browns.
Absolutely. Let's go.
See you, bud.
See you guys.
So transitioning off of that phone call, I want to get into how you can get into our Pick'em free this week, okay? I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to give my answer, too. The person that can give me the answer to this question, this two-part question, first, however you get it to me, call, text, whatever, we'll get into our Pick'em this week for free. What was your very first Cleveland Browns jersey? Who was the player?
Very first, man. I think, as far as back as I can remember, I'd have to go back to 99. I think
when they came back?
I think my first jersey that I can remember, and I'm sure I had one before here, but I believe it was Tim Couch.
That's about fair for guys around our age. That's probably a lot of it.
It was either Tim Couch or Courtney Brown.
Okay. I remember your Courtney Brown jersey.
Yeah.
I do remember you had that.
92. I ended up giving it to Brittany.
Yeah. So we'll go with Couch for yours.
We'll go Tim Couch.
That's the first name you said. My very first Cincinnati Bengals jersey was an Achilles Smith jersey.
I think they came in together same year.
Yeah, they were around the same year, I think so.
I think it was the same year. Right?
I was in
maybe.
I was in elementary school. I was real young, so I don't remember exactly when it was, but I remember just wearing the shit out of that thing.
I'm sure my dad put me in a Jim Brown jersey, or my dad loved Bernie Kosar. But as far as I can remember,
the first jersey
remember would definitely have to be Tim Couch.
Yeah, you still see a lot of people still wearing Tim Couch jerseys these days.
Fucking, what was it when we had? I forget who it was, what quarterback, but I was down in Cleveland for a game and they put either like a 1 in front of the 2 or a 2 or 1 behind the 2 or a number. And then they put potato behind Couch. So it was a player that wasn't getting a lot of playing time or was in trouble or something. Maybe Manziel, and it just said Couch Potato. Yeah, so that was pretty.
That's a good one.
Pretty good.
So I want to find out who listens to our show start to finish. So if you can be the first person to tell me the answer to the question we just asked, you will get into this week 6 Pick'em for free on me. So the answer is Tim Couch and Achilles Smith. The first person to get that answer to me, however you get it to me, will win. You're not eligible because you heard me say it. But I just thought of that like right when you got here. I was like, let's do this just for fun. I want to see
and
who can pull that out.
Yeah, and we're not going to ask the question, right? Like it's just going to be see who listens, right?
Yeah. I'm not going to post. I'll probably post that there's a special question, so you should listen and find out where it is, tell us the answer, or whatever. But I'm not going to post what the question was until we have a winner.
There we go. I like it.
Just something for a little fun. You get in the Pick'em for free. I'll float your $10 this week, so we can do that.
And don't forget, tomorrow opens up a new pool.
Yes, I will post the shit out of it.
So it sounds like we're going to go to until Sunday at noon. So you're going to have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the beginning of Sunday to get in this week.
Hopefully that leads to a bigger pot this week since usually we have about 3 days to get it right. So now we'll have more than that. I'm looking forward to nothing about the Bengals game on Sunday. Nothing at all.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
Hey, I am pulling for the Browns. Anybody that can beat
pulling
Pittsburgh,
for you guys last week, man.
Anybody that can beat Pittsburgh is my team for the week, too. My second favorite team is whoever's playing Pittsburgh. So go Browns on Sunday. We'll be back in next week. The Big Ten will be starting off next week.
Yes, sir. Let's go, Bucks.
I think we should do something really special for that.
Hey, if we could get a few more likes on our Facebook page, I think we only need 20-something more likes. I personally am going to go buy whoever this person is after we obviously you got to compete in the locker room. We cover sports. Somebody's going to win a gift certificate to their choice of Frickers or Roosters.
Whatever you're doing, I'll match it.
There we go. So we'll see. We'll see
how much we decide to do. I'll match it.
Somebody's going to be able to take the whole damn family. The Frickers or Roosters. So get these likes up, guys. Come on, share our shit, share our page, and we like giving out free shit and getting you guys money and talking about sports. We only do it because we love it.
What do you think about next week before the Big Ten comes back, having a former Ohio State Buckeye come on the show?
Ooh, that would be interesting. You hear that?
I can get us a former Ohio State Buckeye.
You guys want a former Ohio State Buckeye to come in here?
Let us know. We might be able to make that happen for you next week.
Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, a little something for the imagination there, but I can probably pull it off. We're pretty well-connected guys. We can pull some strings, make some shit happen.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I think that's about all we got for you this week. Thanks to everybody that tuned in. Get into the pick'em. Get me your answer if you want your entry to be free. We will be back in here next week for the preview of the Khabib and Gagey fight that's coming up next week. That's going to be a good one right in the middle of the fucking day.
We'll talk about that, though.
Yeah, we'll be in for that. We'll have the recap of this past week in the NFL. There's really no more NBA stuff to talk about unless anything major happens, and then we will get ready for Big Ten football. Michigan can start pissing me off the way the Bengals do.
I don't think they're going to piss you off that bad as the Bengals do, but
yeah, we'll see. They got a tough one starting out with Minnesota, so we'll get into that next week. We will be back in here. Thanks for tuning in. Locker Room Talk Uncut.